Hello and welcome back. Amy here from Knit Collage. Thank you so much for watching that last video. If you shared a design you're interested in making or a challenge you're facing within your knitting or crochet, I really appreciate it. I read every single one and I'm so excited to kick off this next knit along. So in that last video, I went deep into how our yarns are made, what makes them so unique, and who makes them. Then I went into each of the 8 designs we'll be making together in community. And then finally, I gave you a behind the scenes or insider look into what the Knit Collage app is like. And I showed you what our teaching course looks like inside the app. So definitely check that out. I'll link to it below in case you missed it. I also shared a blog post with the last video where I go deep into the fit and sizing of each of the designs, the available color options, and the pricing details. I'll link to that below as well, and I encourage you to check it out. I'm thrilled to connect with you one more time in this last video before we kick off the knit along. So imagine that you've just come home from a long, stressful day doing whatever it is you typically do all day. It could be work. It could actually just be like getting your kids to bed and finally reaching the finish line with your kids. You pick up your knitting and your knitting needles and your yarn or your crochet hook, and you immediately feel a sense of calm and ease wash over you. You open up the Knit Collage app, the community space, and you see familiar faces and encouraging messages from fellow knitters and the Knit Collage team. Each stitch you make is a step towards a beautiful creation, and you're not doing it alone. You're in a vibrant community that's cheering you on, celebrating your progress, especially when there's been challenges, and sharing their own knitting journeys with you. Our community and team is a supportive, creative sanctuary where you can escape, unwind, just be yourself, and of course, create beautiful handmade pieces. Learning new skills can be daunting, especially when you don't have the right tools or the right support. It's so easy to lose momentum with our knitting when we make mistakes. This happens to all of us, right? And mistakes that we don't know how to fix. Or when we come up against a tricky technique that we don't know how to do. What I've learned over the past 16 knit-alongs that I've guided students through is that having the right video tutorials that correlate to the exact pattern that you're working on, as well as in-the-moment coaching help and an encouraging community to support you and hold you accountable makes all the difference. Our knit-along experience is all about getting you to that FO, the finished object that you love and adore. So once you finish, that FO is an amazing piece to love and rock out in the world. But as you dive deep into your knitting practice, there are so many other upsides that arise. Your making practice becomes a tool that you can come back to anytime to bring about some peace, calm, creativity, and joy in your life. This knit along, we will have a few virtual events that focus on some of these ideas that I'm really passionate about. These events are totally optional. If it feels like something that resonates with you, I invite you to join us, but 100% you can opt out as well. So these events are going to be centered around setting some intentions for the 6-week period that we'll be spending time together, slowing down and relaxing, something I think all of us could use, and lastly, waking up our inner artists within. So, love these. So these events look like a restorative yoga class that I will teach. I'm also a yoga teacher. It's not going to be a difficult yoga practice. You can actually just come sit in a chair and breathe with me as I teach and read inspiring quotes. We'll also have an intention setting Zoom. I'm excited about that. And then we're going to do a journaling Zoom all about creativity and waking up that inner artist. Lastly, I'm going to have weekly inspiration for you in the form of blogs, podcast ideas, book ideas, movie ideas, all with the idea of relaxing you, getting you into this happy, peaceful place, and also waking up that inner artist. So I'm really excited to bring those back. It's been a while since I've done those. Over the past year, I've connected with some of our past Knitalong participants as well as our challenge participants. These are mini condensed Knitalongs. And I'm going to share a few audio quotes and text quotes with you where I'll be reading them. And as I do, I'm going to share photos of some of the finished objects that have come through these events, some worn by their makers, some just accessories. And what you will see is that they are so confident, so excited, and you can get this little small sense of this practice of knitting things has changed how they show up in the world. It's so inspiring. So here we go.
This project was so much fun because it was really challenging, but it was also great because I loved the videos. I loved how they kept me on track. I liked having a beginning and an end date that was realistic, and I liked that the videos followed that time frame, so you had enough time to stay on track. There were spaces where you could catch up and you didn't feel so far behind. The Facebook support was really terrific, nice to have. And I liked having the opportunity to get on the live if I needed to. It was just a really positive experience, and I had never done Entrelac before, and I'm going to go try it again on another project. Thanks.
All right, so let's dive into hearing from some folks who joined in the Dreamweaver Knitting Challenge. This took place last summer, and it was a 2-week long knit along where we made the Dreamweaver pillow. So from Catherine, I finished my Dreamweaver pillow 2 days ago. The instructions made a new technique easy, and Amy's videos made the knitting fun. From Lavane, I never thought I would be able to do Entrelac, but here it is. Thank you to Amy for such great videos and the whole Knit Collage team for the great work you do. Can't wait to see what's next. From Christy, just taking a little sunshine knitting break. Loving this pattern. It's starting to become intuitive where I don't need to look at the pattern constantly, and that's a great feeling. I'm so impressed and grateful for these challenges. This is only my second one, and I am hooked. My hope request is to learn cables in a future challenge. They have always intimidated me, but I know with Amy's helpful videos, I could learn anything. And from Allison, I honestly cannot believe that I did this. It's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. I'm incredibly grateful to you, Amy, and for the incredibly helpful videos, Pia for the timely email responses, and all of you for your super fun inspiration. All right, I love those. Now let's go to Kim, who joined in the past solstice hug knit along, and I'm going to share some pictures of folks from the past knit alongs while she speaks. Here we go.
I've always aspired to knit. I'm completely obsessed with knitwear, and it's my goal to be able to knit my own sweaters. So here I am. This is what I have so far. I'm completely in love with it. Every time I touch it and look at it, it's just like tangible joy. These colors, these textures, the way they come together. I mean, it's like a piece of candy. It just makes me really happy. And so I've enjoyed every minute of this challenge. I've learned so much already. Just the most fundamental, stupid things that I couldn't do that now are available to me. Teaching how to tink was massive. That's where I would always stop. You know, I would get frustrated, I'd hit a roadblock, and I wouldn't know how to undo it. And so I've had to do it 3 times in my project. My stitch count is perfect. Everything looks perfect. And I feel like so empowered that I have the ability to continue on. The fact that you guys are so supportive, the community is so amazing. You teach these skills. I mean, it's just, I feel like I'm going to have this forever. And like the rest of my life, I get to enjoy doing this. And then I'm so excited that I just get to keep learning more and more and more. I have a pixelated cardie to make, and I have a dicky to make. I bought the yarns and I have the pattern. And so I just want to thank you so much. But to come to a community like this, where I post mistake, and immediately I've got all kinds of feedback, people taking their so much of their own time to put to help me, a stranger, in my knitting journey, and then you guys to put together these fabulous tutorials. These videos are just next level. And my intention was 30 minutes a day of knitting, and I stuck to it, but 30 minutes would become an hour, and an hour would become an hour and a half, and I just didn't want to put it down. Finding a way to take my time back where I'm doing something that actively brings me joy and is like mindful and helps with like anxiety. It's meditative. and replacing the like doom scrolling with that has been, I mean, it's kind of, so I've heard people mention like spiritual journey. And I mean, it really is, there is like an emotional, personal journey that comes out of this. This is 10 days of knitting with you guys. I mean, it's just been explosive growth. I look forward to knitting with Knit Collage for years and years to come.
It has been a blast creating these videos and sharing exactly what our knit-alongs are all about and my big why with you here. I want to invite you to go further and join us within the Knit-along experience. I'll be opening up registration on Wednesday, April 23rd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for 1 week only. So these patterns and kits are available for just our Knit-along participants only for about 6 months to a year. The 30th is the last day to join us, and then the fun really starts. Then we start making. I want us to knit this and crochet these things as a group, which is why we have our set start date and end date. All right, so quick overview of what's involved. You will get the yarns and the notions bag depending on which kit you order, and the notions bag and the packaging this time around is so good. You will have a beautiful iridescent sticker, stitch markers that are all new, a tape measure, and they'll all be wrapped up in a beautiful trim from my travels to India. They're embellished, they're so pretty. You will get the 4 knit-along patterns and the 4 bonus patterns that are the greatest hits. And these 8 patterns and the video courses that go along with them are yours forever. So you can come back to these video courses at any time and refresh your skills or work on your project. We're going to have a rough schedule and checklist, so you can follow along with my schedule for the 6-week period. Of course, you can go at your own pace. And we are going to have this time around a little habit tracker. So it's just a simple chart for you to fill in and check off each day that you knit. It could be 5 minutes of knitting. And the idea behind it is really helping you develop a consistent making practice, because we know what good is on the other side of that. And it's everything I talked about, not just the finished object, right? So I'm excited about our habit tracker. That's new this time around. We also have the community within our app. It's just like a Facebook group without being Facebook, which is great, because we always used to get so many people that said, I'm not on Facebook, but I want to join your knit along and I want to be part of the community. Now you can. It's all within our app space. You can, if you want to, sign up for accountability small groups. Some of our most successful folks who have joined in past knit-alongs have done this. So I want to encourage you to, if you're feeling like you want to fully commit. This is your small group of 3 to 4 people within the bigger group. We send you weekly prompts to spur discussions, and we let you take it from there. We also have 2 live coaching calls a week. This is where you can ask any questions, check and make sure your project is right on track, and keep going. This is also a wonderful place to share your progress within the community. So these are held twice a week. They're recorded. We're going to vary times to try to get as many time zones accommodated as possible. And they'll either be with myself or with Cheryl or Pia, the expert coaches here within the Knit Collage community. All right, so I think that's everything. Of course, you'll have those special events I mentioned earlier too. We will be giving away some scholarships, and if you want, you can donate to the scholarship fund. We're going to match every dollar that comes in. So if you donate $10, we'll match it, and you'll see that pop up on the day we go live. It'll say scholarship, and I want to encourage you to donate, or if you're someone who would benefit from a kit, please just send an email to hello@knitcollage.com and we'll put you on that list. We choose at random, no questions asked. So our official cast on day is May 6th. That's when we start, and the duration of the knit along will last 6 weeks. Of course, it's no biggie if you don't finish within those 6 weeks. A few things I just want to mention is that I want to encourage you to order early if you're thinking about joining us and making along with us. many times we sell out of the most favorite colors within hours, and we've got a lot of new products this time around. We have our new mixtape yarn, which we don't have a ton of, and the new needle felting kit. So all of those I expect could go really fast. The other thing I want to mention here is I don't know what's going on with the tariffs in the world. I don't know if they're going to stick. Right now it doesn't look good, but maybe they'll be extended. I'm not sure. But in the fall, we could be facing a price hike of about 20% or more. And this might mean I actually bring in less yarn. I'm not sure. I think I'll likely go the cautious route, but I'm not sure. So this could be the last shipment of yarn that we have at this price. So if you're thinking about it, it's a good time to hop in. We also have an option, a shop pay option and an after pay option where you have the ability to pay over the course of 3 or 4 months. I love doing this and often do this. Okay, lastly, you have the option to order your hooks and your needles as well as the needle felting tools from us. So I want to encourage you to do that. You can get everything in one place. We also have some beautiful buttons coming into the shop that we've never had before from a maker called Of June. They are made from vintage fabrics. I use these on my flow state cardi. And I think we have 4 or 5, maybe more combos coming in. They're so pretty. They're very, very limited edition because they are made from these vintage fabrics. We also have buttons from Joe Wadler, a gorgeous jewelry designer we've worked with for ages, and Katrinkles, our favorite iridescent buttons. So they're all great options for you. All right, so I want to answer a couple questions. One question I get all the time is, what if I'm a beginner? Can I still join in? If you are a beginner, this is for you. I want to encourage you to know the knit and the purl stitch. I teach you everything else. If you're a beginner, it's so easy to lose momentum, to fail at your project because you're tripped up by a tricky technique or you make a mistake. So being in this cocoon of a supportive environment where you can get help and have the video tutorials there at your fingertips at any point is a wonderful way to actually make progress and finish your project. So if you are a beginner, this is 100% for you. Okay, the next question I get is, I'm a hand spinner, I've spun my own yarn, or I have stash yarn, or I live somewhere very far away and it's really hard for me to get your yarn shipped to me at a reasonable price. So if you have your own yarn, or you want to source your own yarn, or you want to spin your own yarn, that is all awesome. I want to encourage you to join us for the virtual option, and I have details on that in the blog. I'll link below. So within the virtual option, you get everything that comes within the Knitalong experience. So the courses, the live coaching calls, the accountability small groups, and patterns, and I think that's it. Everything except the yarn, basically. So please, please, please join us for that. We have people who consistently join us from Europe, from Australia, all over. So please join us. So the final question I get is, what if I don't finish in time? This happens. This has happened to me. I have not finished my Knitalong projects in the 6-week period. Please know that it is all good. Whatever your timeline, we know life gets in the way, whatever it is all good. The live coaching calls end after 6 weeks. However, the coaches and myself, we are happy to help you with your project if you need help at any time. So keep that in mind. I love having a set start date and an end date to the Knitalong because it helps hold the entire community accountable to actually finish their project. And once you get that amazing positive momentum of finishing a project that challenged you, that stretched you, you're more likely to go on and try another project that is even more challenging, that up-levels your skills. So it sets you on this positive momentum path that is so good. And it also helps you ingrain that consistent making practice into your life. Like, we're going to do that with our schedule, with our habit tracker, with our accountability groups. So part of that is ingraining that into this experience, into this 6-week-long experience, so that you feel some of the amazing intangible benefits that come from a consistent knitting or crochet practice, like more patience, more confidence, more resourcefulness. I talked a lot about those in the past few videos. videos. So please don't stress if you don't finish in time. We do have a celebration video that we put live, that we compilate, we do live about 6 weeks after the final end date of the Knitalong. So we ask you to submit photos if you feel up for it, and then we put them into this amazing compilation that we premiere on YouTube, and we have a watch party for. It's really fun. So you need to be done the project probably a month after the final end date to be able to be included in that. And I so hope you will, because it's the more pictures we get, the more inspiring it is. It's so awesome. So that's great. But if life gets in the way and it takes you longer, it's all good. We are happy to help you and support you at any time with your project. All right. So I hope to see you within this next Knitalong. I'm so excited to kick things off. It's so soon now. I just can't wait to cast on. All these new yarns, new patterns, new techniques are just calling to me, and I hope they're calling to you too. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm so excited.